They laughed before she even reached the gas station door. The sound hit her first, sharp and careless, rolling across the cracked pavement like exhaust fumes. A group of bikers leaned against their heavy machines, leather vests stretched across broad shoulders, helmets resting on handlebars. One of them nodded toward her jacket and smirked. Another actually pointed. The girl froze for half a second, then kept walking, because stopping would have meant letting them see how much it hurt. Her name was Lily, and she was 16. The jacket wasn't new. It was too big in the shoulders, the sleeves slightly frayed, the black leather dulled by years of wind and rain. On someone else, it might have looked tough. On her, thin and nervous, it probably looked ridiculous. That's what they were laughing at, she told herself. Just a kid pretending to belong in a world that wasn't hers. She reached for the door, but the laughter grew louder behind her. One biker said something about kids these days. Another joked that Halloween was months away. Lily's fingers tightened into fists. She didn't turn around. She couldn't. Her throat felt tight, and if she opened her mouth, something ugly might come out. Or worse, nothing at all. What they didn't know was why she wore that jacket. It had belonged to her father. Her dad had ridden bikes across Canada long before she was born, from the wet coasts of British Columbia to the endless highways of the prairies, all the way east where the air smelled like salt and pine. He used to take Lily with him on short rides when she was little, her small arms wrapped around his waist, her helmet bobbing as she laughed into his back. He died 3 years ago, on a winter morning when the roads were black with ice and the phone rang too early. After he was gone, the jacket became everything she had left of him that still smelled like oil and leather and the faint trace of his cologne. It hung in her closet for a year before she worked up the courage to wear it. When she did, it felt like armor. Too heavy, yes, too big, but safe. As Lily pulled the gas station door open, one of the bikers fell quiet. He was older than the others, gray threading through his beard, eyes sharp in a way that suggested he'd seen more than most. His gaze had dropped from her face to the back of her jacket. There, stitched carefully onto the worn leather, was a patch. It wasn't flashy, just a simple emblem with a maple leaf framed by wings, and beneath it, a name, Northwind Riders. A small date was stitched below, faded but still clear. The biker straightened slowly. "Hey," he said, not laughing now. "Where'd you get that?" Lily stopped with the door half open. For a moment, she considered pretending she hadn't heard him. But something in his voice made her turn. The other bikers followed his gaze, their expressions shifting as they noticed the patch for the first time. The jokes died in their throats. "It was my dad's," Lily said quietly. Her voice shook, but she didn't look away. "He passed away." The older biker took a step closer, then another, stopping a respectful distance away. He didn't reach for the jacket. He didn't smile. He just nodded, slow and deliberate. "I rode with Northwind," he said. "A long time ago." The air seemed to change. One of the younger bikers swallowed hard. Another removed his helmet and held it against his chest without quite knowing why. "What was his name?" the older man asked. Lily told him. The reaction was immediate and unmistakable. The older biker closed his eyes for a brief moment, as if a door had opened in his memory. When he looked at her again, his eyes were wet. "He taught me how to ride in the rain," he said. "Told me fear keeps you alive if you listen to it. He was a good man." Lily felt something crack open inside her. No one ever talked about her dad like that anymore. At school, he was just a sad story. At home, he was a silence no one knew how to fill. "I didn't mean to disrespect you," one of the bikers muttered. "We didn't know." She nodded, not trusting herself to speak. The older man turned to the others. "Show some respect." They did more than that. One by one, they stood straighter. A couple of them nodded to her. One even smiled, soft and apologetic. "You wear that jacket proud," the older biker said. "You've earned it." Lily walked into the gas station then, her legs shaking, her heart pounding. She bought what she needed and took her time at the counter, giving herself a moment to breathe. When she came back out, the bikers were still there, but they weren't laughing anymore. As she passed, the older man lifted 2 fingers in a quiet salute. She returned it without thinking. As Lily walked down the road toward home, the jacket felt lighter on her shoulders. Not because it had changed, but because something inside her had. She realized that day that respect doesn't always come from looking tough or fitting in. Sometimes it comes from carrying your story, even when it's heavy, and refusing to hide it. The laughter was gone, but something better had taken its place. And as the wind tugged at the oversized sleeves, Lily felt closer to her father than she had in years, riding forward, unashamed, exactly where she belonged.